I'm going to introduce to you some of the ins and outs and share best practices of Microsoft OneDrive. Your documents will be stored in OneDrive, which you can sync to your local files on your computer to keep everything up to date. I will introduce to you why you want to use OneDrive, how easy it is to access both the desktop application and the online version. I'll give you steps to set up OneDrive and explain the different status icons. We will navigate through setting up your files on demand and the automatic backup. Uploading, downloading, and sharing files are super easy. Using OneDrive Online, you can create, access, and edit documents anywhere, at any time, from any device, whether or not you have Office Suite installed on your current computer. The college's Microsoft Office license allows you to have Office 365 on up to 5 devices, including personal ones. It's important to have the most current version of Microsoft Office installed on all the computers that you use. Use the steps on the next few slides to view what version of Office you have installed on your computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC.
The easiest way is to open any of the Microsoft suite of applications like Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, and watch as the application begins the startup process. You have to be quick because it happens fast. You'll see it listed on the splash screen before the application opens. If you need to update a college computer to Office 365 and it is a Windows-based machine, you can use Software Center. Software Center works like magic. Really, it does. If something is available for your college-owned computer, like Adobe Pro or Office 365, and it is not installed, the application will be in Software Center for you to click on and install on your own. Use Cortana, the Windows search feature. You can find it in the taskbar, and type Software Center. Click on the Software Center. When it opens, you will be able to see all the applications that are available for an install or update. If you see Office 365, select the icon and then click Install. If you need to check a version of Microsoft Office on a Mac, open a Microsoft application. I used Excel for this example. While Excel is open, hover your mouse at the very top left of the screen by the Apple icon. Click on About Excel. Information about the application should open in a new window. This computer has Office 365.
Use Finder, access applications, look for self-service. Self-service is a lot like Software Center. It's magical in the same way. After you open Software Center, you will see any applications to install or update that are available. Choose Microsoft from the menu on the left, then look for Office 365. If you see it, click on the icon to install. Don't worry, the install process is pretty easy. Just remember to use your CFC email address and choose the work or school account. You don't need to change the location for your OneDrive folder. Just use the suggested path. So when you see a next prompt, just click it like it suggests. When setup is complete, if you need to move files or folders, you can drag and drop just like you did before. If you begin your documents in OneDrive, they automatically save. So when you're finished, or even just taking a break, you don't have to save them before you close the document. There are status icons in the desktop app to tell you the sync state of a file or a folder. If you see an outline blue cloud, the file resides in the cloud only. If you see a clear circle with a green outline and a green check mark, the file resides in the cloud and temporarily on the PC. If you see a solid green circle with a white check mark, the file resides in the cloud and permanently on the PC. If you see the two arrows in the circle, file is syncing. And of course, if you're having issues with a file or it's not syncing, you'll see the red circle with the white X. Most often it's a naming convention that's causing the problem. But if you download it back to your computer and then put it back up into OneDrive, it should correct the issue. With OneDrive Files on Demand, you can save space on your device by making the files available online only. To do this, click the OneDrive icon in the bottom right of your taskbar. Click the ellipsis, which means More, the three dots. Select Settings. Go to the Settings tab and make sure to save space to download files as you need them. Click OK. In the event that you're traveling or will not have internet access, you want to make sure your files are available offline. To do that, you can use File Explorer, access the files that you're looking for, right-click on the file, and choose Always Keep on this device. You'll see the icons change now, and they're available on that device.
Mac operating systems do not allow the OneDrive app to manage backups. Setting the app to autosync will back up the files on a Mac.
There are more settings that need your attention after setting up OneDrive. You need to also manage backups to ensure your files will automatically be saved. After you set up OneDrive on any device that you would use and access OneDrive, the desktop, documents, and picture files will automatically back up. In case you closed it, access the OneDrive settings, click the OneDrive icon in the taskbar. Click More, click Settings, then choose the Backup tab. Click Manage Backup. If all three folders, Desktop, Documents, and Pictures are selected, click Start Backup. Wait, look, my Documents folder doesn't have a check mark indicator by it. That means for some reason it will not be backed up. Oh, I see what it is. I have some files with names that are not allowed. I'll either need to remove those files or name them before that folder will sync. On a Windows device, you can start with File Explorer or use Cortana to search for OneDrive. Look for the folder in the taskbar and click on it, or click on the magnifier and type OneDrive. You may see more than one. Select the one that has College of Charleston listed after it. Using the desktop version of OneDrive is just like you would use any other drive in earlier versions of Windows, like Windows 7, including the U drive or the network drive. The best way to start is an organized file structure, like you would with your local drive. Create folders to house your files. Right-click, New, Folder. Name the folder. You would drag and drop files just like before. Let's touch on some of the new capabilities with OneDrive. The familiar ribbon navigation in other Office applications like Word, PowerPoint, and Excel has been brought to OneDrive and is displayed at the top. The ribbon is very intuitive. If you have a JPEG, a picture file, you'll see a Manage tab for picture tools as well. So the ribbon makes it easy to access what you need when you need it. Clicking on the Home tab will open up all kinds of possibilities right here within OneDrive. You can open a new document without opening the specific application first. So let's click New Item and then choose the type of application that you want to create. It's easy to check and change permissions before you share a file using OneDrive. In OneDrive Online, select the file you want to share and click on the ellipsis to the right of the file. Select Share. The default setting is to share with people in the College of Charleston with the link. It will be indicated every time you share a folder or a file.
Click in the box
in order to see more preferences. Now you can choose to share the file with anyone with the link, which would include someone that would not be affiliated with the college. You can allow editing or not allow editing. So the permissions to not allow editing and block the download only gives the permission to view the document. If you want someone to be able to edit the document, make sure you have a check mark in that box to allow editing. Now notice the block download is grayed out. That's because they would have to be able to download the document in order to edit it.
When a file is stored in OneDrive, but you happen to have the application open, you can share it without accessing OneDrive. Look for the Share button in the ribbon. From that point on, the steps to share a file are the same from earlier in this presentation. However, if you are thinking about departmental sharing, like we have on network drives, Dixie or Drayton, for example, you really want to use Microsoft Teams for that. For more information about Teams, visit the training page, training.cfc.edu.
If you're on a Mac, you can use Finder to access the OneDrive application. Choose Finder, Applications, then choose OneDrive. You can also put a OneDrive shortcut on your dock. Of course, Office software looks a little different when you're using a Mac, but for the most part, the behavior is the same. You'll have the icons telling you the status of your folders. You can right-click or command-click and make a new file or a folder. You can change your views, all the same properties of Microsoft Office on a Windows machine.
The screen captures demonstrating OneDrive Online are from a PC, a Windows-based computer. The views from a Mac might be slightly different, but the functionalities are the same. Let's look at Microsoft Office Online. Open a browser page and go to portal.office.com. Click your username or type in your entire email address and click it to log in. Include your My Charleston password and click Sign In. I don't like to stay signed in, but that's a personal preference. This is the landing page for Office 365. Click on the OneDrive icon. This is what you see once the page loads. It takes a little bit to add all the attributes. As you can see, they're still loading up right now. So we're going to go over the navigation of the online page, and we're going to start from the top left. The first thing you see is the waffle or the app launcher. You can actually access any of the Office 365 applications without leaving OneDrive. If you click the word OneDrive, that reloads the page. You'll see that there's a search bar at the top, so you can look for files and folders. An activity bell to include information that you might have, maybe an email or a calendar invite. The settings cog, so you can access your OneDrive settings. The only ones you really need to pay attention to are the notifications. The advanced settings are for more of IT people. You'll have the help from Microsoft Office with the question mark. And then you'll see that you either have an icon or initials for your account. You can access your profile, look at your account, or actually sign out. And you do want to sign out when you're finished with using OneDrive Online so that you don't stay logged in. Where you can access new for a new file or a new folder. You can start a new Office document right from OneDrive and have it saved there. If you start a document in OneDrive, it's stored in OneDrive, which means you can close the application without having to save the file first. Where you can upload file or folders, a forced sync button, and then a link to Microsoft Flow. Microsoft Flow is another Office 365 application. Flows are more of a way to automate processes, like if something happens here, do this. And you can create a new one or view your already created flows. Something happens here, do this. You can also change how you sort your view from your page. You can do by type or name or modified by file size, etc. And then of course you can change your view. So you can look at the list view like I have, or you can change it to tiles. They also have a choice for a compact list, which looks like this. But for me, it's a little hard to read, so I like using that list property, that very first one. And then, of course, you can get more information on your files. On the navigation pane on the left, you'll see your name and then My Files and Recent Files, anything that you've worked on today, earlier, yesterday, this week. Shared files, you actually have two locations, files that are shared with you and files that are shared by you. It doesn't look like tabs, but those are two different locations under the shared tab. And then of course the recycle bin. Don't put something in the recycle bin that you think you might want later because they do go away. After the recycle bin, you have the shared libraries. That's actually information from Microsoft Teams. And if you click on the team link, you can actually get to the files without logging into Teams. I have a lot of Teams, so I'll see more libraries. You may not see that. I also have OneDrive admin. But then the next thing is the link to get to the desktop app. So I talked about that earlier in the video, but it's right there. Get the OneDrive app. Super easy to do. It takes you to the link and it's easy peasy. The last thing in the navigation pane is how you can change views. You can go to classic view or you can revert back to the more popular current view just by clicking that OneDrive link on the top page. Files and folders in the main frame of the page, when it was modified, who modified it, the file size, and of course if it's a shared or a private folder. If it's a shared folder, you can actually click on the word shared and then see more information on that.
One of the great things about using Office 365 and OneDrive Online is that you can see the version history without opening the document. Drill down to the document that you want. If you look to the right of the file name, you'll see 3 vertical dots. That's the ellipsis. Click on the ellipsis and a new drop-down box will open. Click on Version History. And there you go. A new window will pop up with all the versions of the document. Each time the version is changed, it's a new document. You can see when it was modified, who modified it in case there were other people working on the same document, and actually the file size.
Some of these helpful hints are not specific to OneDrive. You definitely want to use OneDrive Online if you're going to collaborate and work on a document with others. Also, if you have syncing issues, just try to reload the document back up into the cloud and it should work fine. Remember, you want to leave out the special characters when you're naming files, otherwise you might have an issue when it comes to saving your backup or saving the file. The Office Upload Center in the taskbar will let you know if you're having documents that are waiting to be uploaded. And then of course you can actually use the settings to pause the sync time. You can change them for 2 hours to 8 hours or 24. Check out those settings down in the OneDrive in the taskbar.
Don't forget to download the app for your mobile devices like smartphones, iPads, and tablets so that you'll be in the know when you're on the go. If you're new to OneDrive and still have questions, or if you want to learn more about any of the Office 365 applications, make sure you check out our training page at training.cofc.edu. Microsoft has a wealth of information as well on their support page.
Please like us and follow us on social media, Facebook and Twitter at CFCIT and Instagram at CFC_IT.
Until next time, thanks for watching.